Today's video, why narcissists can't love. Pretty strong title there, right? Why narcissists can't love? They're focused in on themselves because of a deep emptiness, a void, a deep insecurity. To work with that emptiness and therefore putting the focus on themselves, that means therefore they're not able to make a true, authentic, intimate connection with somebody else. So number one, in not being able to really love someone, it's because the admiration and attention that you give someone you love, they're not capable of that because they need that attention and admiration. So it's flipped around. So they can't give something that they don't have to give. It's turned internally on themselves. The focus is on them. So when it's turned in on ourselves, we have an over-exaggerated sense of importance. How's an over-exaggerated sense of importance going to work in terms of wooing somebody, trying to get romantically involved with a boyfriend or girlfriend? It's not going to work very well. The only times it may really work well is if the recipient, the person the narcissist is dating, if they're emotionally wounded themselves from childhood and have a very low self-esteem and treat themselves like a doormat, then they may be attracted to and drawn to a narcissist. So we have a very off-balance relationship here from the get-go. A narcissist is not capable of having empathy, true empathy for others. Healthy relationships and intimate relationships demand empathy. We have to be able to see the position of things, the compromise of things, the overall scheme of things from the other person's point of view. That's how we work things out. That's how healthy relationships thrive. And if we're not able to understand the other person's point of view, their feelings about something, step into their shoes, so to speak, and get something, doesn't mean we have to support it or agree with it depending on what the topic is, but we at least have to be able to understand it. Narcissists are rarely able to do this. This lack of empathy means they're not able to really love because real love requires this quality. They have to be focusing on their own needs somewhat, or they couldn't really be called a narcissist, and we're not really talking about them. So by definition, a narcissist is someone who has to make it be all about themselves. Appearance, how things look to others, and that usually erodes any sort of deep intimacy, the potential for intimacy. Because it's not about the authentic connection there, right? If someone's focused more on how things appear, then that means they don't really care that much or equally as much about the real deal. The real connection between two people. Well, the real connection between two people is what we call love. When you're not seeking real truth, then you're not able to have real intimacy. In addition, a narcissist, because they're feeling empty inside, there's a void there. Of course, they put on the huff and puff in the show, can act all charismatic and high and mighty. Because they have to compensate for the inner void with what I just mentioned, then generally speaking, they need to feel like they're in control. Now, somebody who's controlling or has control issues is not going to handle relationships well. Acting pleasant and loving to a degree, but always trying to make sure things turn out their way, the way they want. Always perhaps a bit of an agenda, trying to manipulate the other person. These energies are not conducive to what we call love. Now, of course, with narcissism, there's a degree. On the bell curve of it all, it can range from traits of narcissism to full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. So everybody's a little bit different with this. Now, on the high end of narcissism, leaning more towards the NPD traits, we have traits like scapegoating, favoritism, neglecting, baiting someone, mocking somebody, projecting, lying, and of course manipulating, looking down on, and so on. There's a lot more I could name, but those are some of the main ones right there. Do we judge them because of this, hate them because of this? No, we just need to be aware of it so that in our interpersonal relationships, we're not going to get sucked down some vacuum or void with a narcissist. We need to be aware, we need to educate ourselves. So, for example, if you're dating somebody and you get these red flags, you notice some of these traits I mentioned, then you better think twice as to whether you want to continue in a long-term relationship with somebody like that. Your job is not to try to change somebody like that, and that's not going to work anyhow. So hope this is helpful to some of you who perhaps have narcissists in your life. Please leave me some comments below. Let me know if you have any input or thoughts about how you've dealt with narcissists in your life. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.